Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for July the 17th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy for the day, and then after that I'll pull one card for each sign, and we'll just see how those energies mesh with each other. So let's see, what is our overall energy? Overall energy shows up as the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups talks a little bit about potentially daydreaming. Sometimes I see it as daydreaming. There's lots of options and just daydreaming about, which option to move forward with. It generally is not that much of an actual action or hard action type card. The other thing that I see it as is, for those who know law of attraction, this is kind of the beginning of starting a manifesting process where you start dreaming about what different things could be better and figuring out what you want to really focus on, but imagining life better than it is. Okay, so let's see how this comes up for everybody here. Aries. Okay, Aries, Page of Cups showing up in reverse. So this just tells me that somebody is letting you know exactly how they feel about you, how important you are to them. And I think this, somebody doing this just kind of sets you sort of to, I don't know, daydreaming about, what could be next. What else, what other kind of experiences could you have with this person, whether it's a little person or whether it's a romantic interest. This could be, say you've got a stepdaughter who lets you know that they really enjoy the energy and effort you put into them whenever they're around. Then maybe you start thinking about different projects you can work on together or different things that you can do since now she appreciates those. So it could be something along those lines. Could also be, maybe this is your crush, letting you know how much they think about you. And so now you're kind of daydreaming about, well, what's coming next with this? Is this going to turn into anything? So this basically, nutshell, putting it in a nutshell so it applies to everyone. Somebody is letting you know how they feel about you, and that is beginning your daydreams. That's inspiring daydreams for you. Okay? Daydreams or hopes or wonderings. Now let's look at Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, we have the Four of Cups with a Seven of Cups as overall. So Taurus, I think what's going on here is you're comparing the life that you have now with the life that you wish you had or that you want to have or that maybe you'll have in a few weeks or a few months or a few years or whatever. And I think that comparing what you want or what you're expecting to what you have now is really giving you a bad case of sour grapes and pity party. So don't compare, just work towards. Head off that pity party if you can. Never productive to have a pity party. Geminis. Geminis, you guys got the Magician showing up in reverse. What's going on here? Magician in reverse. This is interesting. So Geminis, I think that you have somebody in your sphere of influence who is, more or less a trickster. I think they may be talking you into some kind of scheme, or they're trying to tuck you into some kind of scheme. I don't know if it's a get-rich-quick scheme or if it's I don't know what kind of scheme, okay? But I think they're trying to talk you into some kind of scheme. I really don't think you're falling for it, but I do think that they've got you kind of daydreaming about how you would like to see things better in your life after you talk to them, okay? That's for Gemini. Next up, let's look at Cancer. So Cancers, you guys have the Four of Wands showing up with the Seven of Cups. Cancers, I think you're daydreaming about travel, about a change of scenery, about getting away from home. That's what I think. You may be looking at magazines or travel brochures and just looking at all the different destinations that you could actually go to. This is not exactly planning a getaway, but it is kind of daydreaming about a getaway. It's thinking, it's being open to the idea of a getaway. Okay, so yeah, that was Cancer. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Leo. Leo's Knight of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Leos, I really think that you're daydreaming about, with this overall energy, what you're daydreaming about is how can you take care of the budget, make more money, meet all your needs as far as financially, and be able to clock in at the office less, spend a little less time actually focused on money-making responsibilities. You're sort of beginning to explore that right now today, Leos. At least explore it mentally. This is kind of our daydream, so it's not action. It's still just in the conceptualized phase, being open to new ideas, basically. Now, let's look at Virgo. So Virgos, you guys have the King of Cups showing up in reverse. There is something that you're not very happy about right now, but Virgos, I think you're being really proactive because you're kind of daydreaming about how things could be better. You may even be doing that first bit of manifestation where you're visualizing. So for me, this looks like, you're getting a little contrast and you're taking the bounce. You're getting that trampoline all set up so you can bounce straight up out of this contrast through visualization and through knowing what you don't want so you know what you do want. All right, so that was Virgo. Next up is Libra. Libras, you guys have the King of Wands showing up in reverse. What's going on here? Libras, I think there's something creative that you have produced, and I think with this King of Wands in reverse, you're tearing that apart. You're like basically going back to the drawing board, getting rid of whatever this is that was creative that you've produced, because I think you're realizing this thing could be so much better. You may even be kind of embarrassed to show it, and I think that you are thinking about all the different ways that it could be better, and so you're going to make a new version. I don't know if you're going to use these same materials to make a new version, but you're definitely going to be making a new version. This would be similar. What it reminds me of is I'm kind of thinking more like in the workshop, like having to do with wood or metal or something when I feel into this, but it does remind me of one time I knitted a sweater, and I hadn't been knitting that long. It was probably my first real project. And when I started the sweater, the stitches that I was making were one size. By the time I finished it, they were another size, and it was kind of a two halves and then you put them together sweater. So one side actually looked pretty decent, and the other side was just kind of a big loppy mess. So guess what I did with that sweater? Nobody has seen it but me. It got thrown in the trash can years ago, but I still remember it. Nobody else got to see it. So I feel like there's a project that you've worked on, Libras, that you don't really want to show this to anybody else. You feel like there's a lot of ways it could be better. So I think that you are really putting together a game plan about how to either make it better or make a new one that just is better, because now you've got the experience behind you and you know what you need to do. Next up, let's look at Scorpio. High Priestess showing up in reverse for a Scorpio placement. Blech, we don't like that. High Priestess in reverse just means there's something that we are really, really confused about. And with that Seven of Cups showing up, that's just telling me that what we're really confused about is what are our actual options. There's something that we want to move forward on, but we don't know what our options are, so it's really hard to figure out in what way am I going to move forward. Next up, let's look at Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Ace of Pentacles showing up in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so Sagittarius, Ace of Pentacles in reverse does talk about the idea that you are giving somebody some kind of gift. I really like it, Sagittarius. It's like Spirit has found a new way of saying something that really is a part of your personality, but this is just telling me that you're definitely being active in this today. There's no fire on the table, but normally I would equate this with fire. So basically what I'm seeing here is that you are giving some kind of gift to somebody or some kind of opportunity to somebody. I think what you're doing is you're actually inspiring somebody with the Seven of Cups to start doing their own manifestation work. You're actually inspiring somebody that they can do whatever they want to do. They just have to recognize that there's some energy work involved with that before they start to do the actual physical work. So you're passing along inspiration to somebody else. Maybe you're telling them a story about how you manifested something. Maybe you're just giving them their information a little bit more directly. Either way, you are inspiring somebody so that they can take some action towards creating their own manifestation as well. Woot woot. Capricorn. Five of Cups showing up in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse just tells me that you, with this overall energy of the Seven of Cups, I think you're daydreaming about what would it be like if I forgave so-and-so. I think that a lot of people have this idea that when we forgive something, then that means we should leave the door open for the person to come in and do it again. I'm not sure where this idea comes from, but it seems to be very pervasive that, forgive and forget means let the person walk all over you again. It does not. Not. It means don't hold it against them because they did it last time, but don't allow them the opportunity to do it again still, because you still have some self-respect. You didn't lose that just because you forgave the person. So this really is a combination that tells me with this Seven of Cups and the Five of Cups, you're really daydreaming about what would it be like if I would forgive so-and-so. You're not forgiving them yet. You're afraid to forgive them. I feel like you're afraid to forgive them because you're afraid if you forgive them, that means you have to let them do it again. No, you don't. Forgiving somebody doesn't mean you suddenly lose all your brain cells and you turn into an idiot. Forgiving somebody just means that you have the grace within you to recognize that maybe somebody had something going on that you don't understand that caused them to act the way they did, and to not hold that against them anymore. Doesn't mean you're going to let them do it again. I don't know why I feel like I have to be on this soapbox right now, but I definitely am. So I'm assuming somebody needed to hear that. Maybe more than one somebody, I'm betting. All right, next up, let's look at Aquarius. Aquarius, Ace of Swords. Oh, Aquarius, you're getting some kind of new idea, new understanding, an epiphany of an idea today. Whenever one of those epiphanies comes in, not only do we understand whatever that idea came in around, but it also fits together a lot of other puzzle pieces in our lives too. And so this epiphany, this new understanding that you're coming to today, Aquarius, is something that is helping you to really see where you can make a lot of different improvements actually in your life, and you're starting to daydream about that and sort through, exactly how you want to go about doing that. Pisces, Three of Wands. Pisces, you've been daydreaming. You've been thinking about some different things, some different options about how to make things better. And with this Three of Wands, now you're doing more than daydreaming. Now you're actually setting some plans. You're putting in place a strategy, and you're setting some plans about doing that. Could be plans about travel, but generally this is more long-term plans in general. So it could be plans about, okay, I'm going to buy a house on this year or in this month, and we're going to start trying to have a baby at this time, or, those types of long-term type plans. So things that are going to be happening, at the very least over the next few weeks and months, if not longer than that, probably much longer. So you are You are taking action on that. You're making plans on some of these options that you could use to improve your life. Okay, so was that Aquarius or Pisces? That was Pisces. Thank you guys very much for being here. That's all I've got for everybody. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys back the next time. Peace out.